information, we are fortunate and we are privy to be able to order things and not only just have to sit around and wait for them, but we can track them. I believe that there are some people here on today who are like me. You are Amazon Prime members.
Hey, 2-day shipping.
And I love Amazon Prime because with Amazon Prime, you not only get free shipping,
2-day shipping,
but you get 2-day expedited shipping with a tracking number. And I love Amazon so much, and the service is so good that you don't even have to log into the USPS website. You don't have to log into the FedEx website. You don't have to log into the UPS website. If you have the Amazon app, as soon as you open the app and look at your order, the tracking information is already presented for you.
You better do it.
I wish I had some impatient folk in here on today who wanted to give God some praise. Some people who don't like to wait, that when you order something, I don't want to wait for it. I want it and I want it now. I don't trust you enough that when I spend my money, when my money has been deposited into your account, I want my stuff. Come on, I wish there was just a couple honest folk in here who would just be honest and say, I don't really like waiting for my stuff. Now, if you notice, there are a few different carriers out there. You got USPS, the United States Postal Service. Do we got any Postal Service workers in here? Good, because they're terrible. The United States Postal Service is the most unreliable carrier service in the world. You order from them and you pay the extra money to get the tracking number. Even when you can track it, they're still not reliable. You go and check your tracking and they say your thing hasn't left the facility yet, but yet you're supposed to get 2-day shipping and you bought it 5 days ago. And you become impatient. And a couple times I had ordered something and I'd spent a lot of money. I was waiting for some tickets to go to Disney. And the time was coming for me to go, and the tickets were not in my mailbox by the time that they said they were. I checked my tracking number, and it was not there, so I became impatient. I was leaving in a few days, and I began to call, and I began to take things into my own hands. I wasn't living by sight, and I wasn't living by faith either. Because I couldn't see it and I didn't believe that it was coming. See, sometimes we live by faith, sometimes we live by sight, and sometimes we don't live by neither. And so I had called and I had talked with a few people, and after being on the phone for a few hours, they finally gave me the number to contact the postmaster in Newburgh, New York, and I got a voicemail, and I was driving home from work, and they said, Mr. Bell, your package is here. So I said, sir, let me ask you a question. Why do you have tracking service if it's not reliable enough for me to track my package, and it says it's in Texas, but my package is in Newburgh? See, but then I realized sometimes I treat the postmaster the same way that I treat God, because when God says that he has something for me, when God says that he has a blessing for me, when God says I'm getting ready to do something miraculous in your life, and I'm getting ready to take you to open up some doors and take you to another level, sometimes I don't trust God, and I say, God, I need the tracking number in order for me to track the blessing in which you have promised me. In our text today, as we know, is the story of Esau and Jacob. Esau and Jacob are twin brothers. Their mother, Rebecca, had a revelation while she was pregnant, and she noticed that Esau and Jacob were struggling inside of her as she was pregnant. And the Lord said to her that the youngest son, Jacob, is going to be the one who's going to rule. That though Esau is the elder son, the younger son is actually going to rule over the elder son. Now understand that Jacob was Rebekah's favorite. See, when your mommy's favorite, you can have some manipulative privileges. My brother Steph know all about that. See, when you're the baby boy, you get away with some manipulative experiences. But Esau was Isaac's favorite. Not only was he Isaac's favorite, but he was supposed to get the birthright by default. As we saw in the clip, we understand that with the birthright, that you were heir to the family's throne, that you would have twice as much that anyone else would have, but there was something spiritual that was added to this that you need to understand. That through this birthright, the Messiah would also be born through. This was very important, that this lineage would be the lineage in which Jesus would be born through. So we have Esau and we have Jacob, twin brothers. So a situation arises where Jacob tells his brother that he wants him to sell his birthright for a bowl of soup. Esau was out hunting because Esau was a hunter. And he comes back and he's exhausted from hunting, but not only is he exhausted, but he's hungry. And his brother is eating and he says, listen, let me get some of that soup you got. And then a light bulb clicks in Jacob's mind and he says, here is my opportunity. Here is my opportunity to swindle my brother into selling me his birthright. So what he does is he says, I'll give you some of this soup. I'll give you some of this lentil soup. One of the modern translations says it's lentil soup. So I believe that he had some Olive Garden. He had some Olive Garden. I know Gabby like Olive Garden. I'm not really a big fan of Olive Garden. So and watch it. One of the other modern translations says that he gave him some soup, some lentil soup and some bread. He had some breadsticks and some soup. He actually cheated him on the deal because at Olive Garden you get soup, salad, and breadsticks. So Esau, you're going to give up your birthright for some Olive Garden, and you ain't even get the salad with it? It's supposed to be soup, salad, and breadsticks. But you're going to settle for the breadsticks and the soup. Understanding Esau doesn't understand the importance of his birthright. He doesn't understand that the lineage of the Messiah is going to come through this birthright. Forget about the material stuff. Forget about gaining twice as much as everyone else. Forget about the livestock and I'm gonna bring you up to date. Forget about the mansions and the Bentleys and the cars and the horses and the Rolex watches and the gold chains and the nice earrings and the wonderful jewelry and everything that comes with this, the great material inheritance. Forget about that. Esau, what about the Messiah? So he agrees. He agrees to give up his birthright for the Olive Garden. is the soup. And his mother, later on, Isaac is old in age. And he's getting ready to transition, and he tells Esau, he says, listen, I'm getting ready to bless you. So what I need you to do is I need you to get your hunting gear. Get your hunting gear, and I want you to fetch me some venison. My grandfather loved venison. I don't like that stuff. He says, get me some venison. I want you to cook it up nice for me. Make a nice stew for me. And bring it back to me, and I'm going to bless you. And Rebecca overheard the conversation. She overhears and she says, this is a perfect opportunity. Now understand, oftentimes we call Jacob the trickster, but you got to realize that he learned his tricks from his mama. See, this is why we got to be careful in how we sometimes judge our parents, because sometimes we can turn out just like them. The very same things that we say we don't like about our parents, we end up turning out the same way. His mother hears him and says, listen, here's our opportunity. It's a perfect opportunity for us to get this blessing. Now understand this. Understand that God had already told her that the younger son would be the ruler. He had already revealed that to her. But he did not tell her when, and he did not tell her how. See, when God promises us a blessing, and when he does not tell us when, and when he does not tell us how, you gotta wait, because when you don't wait, you try to take it into your own hands. And when you take it into your own hands, what you do is you begin to contaminate it. You begin to try to manipulate. You begin to try to twist it and turn it, because you don't truly trust what God has told you. When God tells you, I'm going to deliver your children, believe it. When God tells you, I'm going to send somebody good for you, believe it. When God tells you, I'm going to bring you out of your situation, believe it. When God tells you he's got a healing miracle on your way, believe it. So she overhears the conversation, and this brings us to our first point. There's an anticipation. Scripture says that she heard, Rebecca was listening while Isaac spoke to his son Esau. Now, note, why is she even eavesdropping on the conversation? He wasn't talking to her. This was a conversation between the father and the son. Mommy, this right here don't have nothing to do with you. This is between daddy and the son taking care of some spiritual business. See, but because you were so protective of the younger son, because you wanted him to have that blessing so bad, that you wanted to eavesdrop on the conversation. So when Esau went to the field to hunt for game to bring home, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, behold, I heard your father speak to your brother Esau, saying, bring me some game and prepare a savory dish for me that I may eat and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. So because she heard, she anticipated. Because she eavesdropped on the conversation, she anticipated that this is my opportunity to bypass God, to go into the fast lane, to no longer wait on what God had already told me. I am going to take it in my own hands. I'm going to put this thing in cruise control. I'm going to take over the driving wheel. Forget about what God says. I think right now is an opportune moment, and I'm going to take advantage of it now. See, when you have a spirit of veering around God, and when you want to circumvent God's plan and try to put it in your own hands, you become over anticipated. And what you do is you get ahead of God instead of staying behind God, because God moves in his time. When we become over-anticipating, we become impatient. And we say, God, you're taking too long. God, I know you promised me this, but it doesn't look like it's coming. It doesn't look like it's happening. And I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of praying. I'm tired of fasting. I'm tired of coming to church. I'm tired of paying tithes, and I'm not seeing any results. My children are still acting up. My husband is still acting crazy. My job is getting on my nerves. Lord, it seems like everything around me is falling apart and crumbling. My health is failing. And Lord, I don't understand. I've got to try to do something, Lord, because it seems like you're not moving fast enough. This brings us to the next point here. Formulation. The text says, watch what she does. The text says, now therefore, my son, listen to me as I command you. Notice this had nothing to do with her. This had nothing to do with Rebecca. This was between Isaac and Esau. So she eavesdrops on the conversation to see what's happening. She anticipates that this is her moment, even though God did not tell her that was the moment. So she formulates a plan. She says, go now to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats from there, that I may prepare them as a savory dish for your father, such as he loves. So then she formulates this plan. And she says it like she's doing something good. Hey, boy, come here. I need you to do this for your father. We trying to look out for your father. It's his birthday. We want to do something nice for him. Not knowing that she's formulating a plan to deceive him. Not only is she formulating a plan to deceive him, but she's also bringing her other son in on the plan. All because God didn't give her a tracking number on the blessing in which he told her was going to occur. He says, go now to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats from there, that I may prepare them as a savory dish for your father as he loves. And he says, then you will bring it to your father that he may eat, so that he may bless you before his death. Am I the only one seeing this here? I thought the father said that he was getting ready to bless Esau. So she turns around and tells her son Jacob that I want you to go do what your father told Esau to do. I want you to get ahead of him. I want you to go around him. I want you to beat him to the field. Now, no, Jacob wasn't even a hunter. See, sometimes when you are even qualified to do. My God, help me here. Sometimes you get so eager and you get so impatient that you start telling people to do things that you first don't even have any authority to tell them to do, and you hire people that aren't even qualified to do. Jacob wasn't a hunter. That's why he was in the situation in the first place. Because his brother was out hunting, and you eat soup. Your brother out hunting, and you chilling at Olive Garden. Over anticipated. She over anticipated because God didn't give her a tracking number. She's formulating, trying to figure out how she's going to manipulate this blessing. And this brings us to our next point. Manipulation. So there's an anticipation. There's a formulation. Once you are over anticipating and you formulate, understand after the formulation, because it was not designed for you, the only other alternative is to start manipulating. When you are not in God's will, when you are someplace where God has not told you to go, when you got your hands on things that God has not destined for you to touch, you have to manipulate in order to gain hold of it. So you got to understand that when God has something for you, when your name is on it, you don't have to pick locks, you don't have to lie to people, you don't have to manipulate, because what God has for you is for you. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter if it looks like somebody else. It looks like somebody else is ahead of you. When God has your name on something, that blessing is yours. And you don't have to lie. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to steal. You don't have to manipulate. Because what God has for you is for you. Look at what she does. 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 She said, then you shall bring it to your father. First, she sends him off to do something he's not qualified to do. Boy, you gonna mess around and hurt yourself. He could have killed himself out there hunting. He ain't no hunter. He could have killed himself out there. And you shall bring it to your father that he may eat, so that he may bless you before his death. She says, then bring it to your father. Let's go to the next verse. Jacob answered his mother. Now Jacob knows it's wrong. He knows it's wrong. He knows it's manipulative. He knows it's a bad idea. He knows it's not a good look. So he tries to fix it. So he says, behold, Esau, my brother. Mommy, understand that my brother is hairy and I'm smooth. Mommy, how in the world are we going to pull this heist off? You're trying to rob a bank and you're riding a bicycle. If you're going to rob a bank, you better at least have a car that's faster than the cops' cars. I mean, did you really think this thing out? You obviously didn't think this out. My brother's hairy and I'm hairless. My brother got a 50-foot afro and I'm bald-headed. Next verse. Perhaps my father will feel me, then I will be as a deceiver in his sight. And I will bring upon myself a curse and not a blessing. She already knew the blessing was coming. tracking number. He told her that Jacob was going to be the one. She already knew he was going to be the one. He did not say how, and he did not say when. She couldn't track it. She couldn't pull up her device. She couldn't look and see exactly where in the process the blessing was. So she decided that she is going to manipulate the situation, that she is going to circumvent, and instead of wait for the blessing, she's going to force the blessing. God, I'm going to force your hand. God, I'm going to force you to bless me. Now understand, a part of the spirit was in Jacob because of the way his mama was. Because even in the scripture it says that Jacob had wrestled with God and told him that I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. Jacob had a fighting spirit. He had a feisty spirit. But he was a deceiver and a trickster because his mama taught him how to be. And our last verse says, but his mother said to him, your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and get them for me. Don't miss that, dear. She was out of order because God didn't give her a tracking number. But understand, this whole ordeal was all about her. It wasn't about Jacob. It wasn't about Esau. It wasn't about Isaac. It wasn't about Jesus. It was all about Rebecca. It was all about how she was going to look. It was all about that this was her baby boy. And because God had told me, I want to make sure that this thing plays out right. And Lord, I'm not going to wait for you, but I'm going to manipulate it because I want to look like the hero. She says, go get them for me. Notice she hadn't said anything about the blessing. It was all about her. But even in all of this, and I'm getting ready to take my seat and leave y'all alone. I'm getting ready to go. I'm going to get out of y'all way because it's getting hot in here. But even throughout the bad news, even when we're over anticipating, even when we're formulating, and even when we're manipulating, in the end, God will bring about celebrating. See, because the Bible says that Jacob went before his father. But before he went before him, he did as his mother told him to do. And he put some hair on himself. And he came to his father looking like Esau. And his father said, hey boy, come here and give me a kiss. And as he leaned in on his father, the father said, you feel like Esau, but you sound like Jacob. Yeah. Good thing. He said, you feel like Esau, but you sound like Jacob. Pastor Mayor, what in the world does this thing have to do with us and celebrating? See, you gotta understand that when we come before God, God says, yeah, you feel like Jesus,